Absolutely love that the idea, but also what for me is really a deep belief, which is that we can't control everything. We're not in as much control as we think we are, and that the magnificence of biology and the magnificence of nature is it's impossible for me to conceive how that could come about any other way. It just is. Now, yeah, I mean, I think that, full stop.
Hey everyone, it's really common to hear people speak as though faith and science are somehow in conflict. And so I wanted to spotlight a scientist who not only thinks that they're not in conflict, but that actually his field gives us really, really good reason to believe in God. His name is Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist who's become really popular online. This isn't about evolution or when the universe was made. However you think we got here, the fact that we're here and the way it all works is so amazing that if you haven't considered the possibility that a creator is the best explanation for it, you might have been burying your head in the sand. I'll make most of my comments on the back end, but for now, here's the clip.
When you start to study and understand brain development, as I did, or neuroplasticity, or dopamine, you have to, meaning I don't care if you're an atheist, agnostic, or believer in creator, you have to step back and just go, wow. Now, then of course there's this difference among scientists as to who believes in God, who doesn't. I'll just go on record. I'm very comfortable saying I believe in God. I do. I think there are many things that science can explain. There are certain things science can't explain. But I'll even go a step further, which is that all the elements of science are entirely compatible with the idea of there being a God. And I'm not the first scientist to say this. I mean, Einstein believed in God. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists ever, clearly believed in God.
Yeah, the very specified complexity here is insane and results in something that seems almost magical. It's not just our brains, it's the universe itself. Philosopher Robin Collins kind of explains the data and then gives us a great analogy for this. He says, if the initial explosion of the Big Bang had differed in strength by as little as 1 part in 10 to the 60th, the universe would have either quickly collapsed back on itself or expanded too rapidly for stars to form. In either case, life would be impossible. An accuracy of 1 part in 10 to the 60th can be compared to firing a bullet at a 1-inch target on the other side of the observable universe, 20 billion light years away, and hitting the target.
There are many atheist scientists. There are agnostic scientists who are just kind of like unsure, right? And, for me, I'm in absolute awe of biology. It's just incredible that we're sitting here having this conversation. It's with language, that there are little sound waves that you're perceiving and understanding. I mean, and I think the brain represents the apex of incredible in terms of biology. Like the heart is interesting, the immune system is interesting, the liver is interesting, but the brain is unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, think about the number of different ways you can move your body compared to another species. Think about what you did today. Think about what I was attempting to do today, right? Yeah. Spectacular. Think about technology. These lights, the, Tesla cars, spaceships. I mean, the internet. I mean, unbelievable. And yet, oh so real.
Yeah, there's something really whimsical about our reality too. Sound waves, like he says, carrying communication from one conscious person to the next. And if you're inclined to say, well, incredibly unlikely things can happen, consider that William Dembski pointed out that it's not just that unlikely things happen. When you're playing poker, for example, any arrangement of cards is extremely unlikely, but it's what he called the specified complexity of getting exactly the right hand that you need to win the game and getting it over and over and over and over again. That specified complexity that's in our brains and in the universe itself is what is so mind-blowing. It results in a whimsical world that in many ways seems too good to be true.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could talk a bit about how well, I'll just say this. Secretly, I've always prayed. I grew up in a split religion home. My family's like the UN. We've got people from Guatemala, Denmark, Argentina, New York. all the different political battles are in my family. Super left, super right, libertarians, lefties to the, it's crazy. Thanksgivings can be difficult.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, I absolutely pray. I absolutely love that the idea, but also what for me is really a deep belief, which is that we can't control everything. We're not in as much control as we think we are. And that the magnificence of biology and the magnificence of nature is, it's impossible for me to conceive how that could come about any other way. It just is. Now, yeah, I mean, I think that, full stop.
Who do you pray to?
That's an interesting one because I think God. Yeah. So I absolutely do. I've actually started reading the Bible recently, start to finish. I feel like it's my duty to learn and in some sense compare Old and New Testament. I'm really interested in the stories, but I'm fascinated by the story of us.
See, Huberman isn't just interested in some nameless God. He's experimenting with the God of the Judeo-Christian Bible and seeing what he can learn about him from there. Clearly, he thinks that the things that religious people believe in aren't off the table. One of my favorite moments from the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis is in the Voyage of the Dawn Treader when one of the Narnians is talking with the kids from Earth, and he's describing the way it is in Narnia. You have to be real careful because it's flat, and if you're in a boat, you could sail off the edge like in the old pirate fairy tales. But as he's talking to the kids from Earth, they explain that, no, in our world, we live on Earth, and it's a sphere. It's like a ball that is hanging in the expanse. And the Narnian's mind is blown. He says, wow, that's so whimsical. That's so amazing. We might say seemingly magical. He said, I wish I lived in a world like that, where you could walk around on the underside of the Earth, so to speak. It turns the whole series on its head for the reader. You thought the whole time that it was Narnia that was this too good to be true, whimsical, almost magical place. But in reality, it's our universe. It's the Earth that's just seemingly a little too good to be true, unless there's a God.